Hey everyone, we are going to finish up the Western Approach in this segment. We've got a lot still to do there. We're also finishing up some War Table missions. I'm trying a new thing where I am editing the results next to the beginnings if they happen within one segment of gameplay. So now we have the end result of Word from Zevran. And after that, Evading the Crows,
Inquisitor,
which I forgot to scroll down on, and the end of Evading the Crows. Yay! Here we have the good works of Sarah Ruth, which we're putting Cullen on, and the end result will be right after that. I also forgot to scroll down on that one, sorry. So the end result is she did some good and then she disappeared. Maybe she'll come back.
Good, Inquisitor. I am glad that issue has been resolved.
What is your evaluation of our supplies?
We are groaning with resources, a reflection of your competence and inspiration.
Are there others who could come to Skyhold?
They are helping now. I have contacted many of our finest, and their influence is not inconsequential. They are not, shall we say, prone to take the field, but we will be well supplied.
Where did you receive your training?
I studied with Adan after he left the service of the King of Ferelden. Well, when the King was no longer there to serve. Our College of Associates tends to meet informally. I've since been fortunate enough to serve various heads of state. They are all as good as another, truth be told. My skills and contacts are better suited to more imminent need.
I take it you're a city elf, not Dalish.
It's not a useful identifier. I am an elf. I was raised away from the Dalish. No, I do not know their customs. Perhaps that wasn't immediately obvious. It's of little concern. I have skill enough to be evaluated by what I can do. My associates appreciate my work.
As you were.
Of course, Inquisitor.
And back to the Western Approach. And Dorian is looking delightful in plaid weave. Have found a little note in an abandoned camp. This is a stairway in an out-of-the-way spot. I noticed it in the last playthrough too. Not a lot here, although there is a mosaic piece down underneath. And other than that, it's a bit of a mystery. We've got some dead bodies down there. We're not jumping down there though. There we go, there's a mosaic piece. In front of us is Griffin Wing Keep, which is currently overrun with Venatori, but we're going to take it over and turn it into ours.
Shall we knock?
Gladly.
This gets us another sad splinter. We need 3 in order to make that little sad weapon. These guys will run up no matter what you do, and I have tried everything to try and pull him towards me. I don't know why, but the fact that they run up despite anything I do just drives me nuts. Once you clear everyone out on that level, you run upstairs.
Inquisitor! I am ready to serve! Life is nothing! We will I join your glory.
Slap a coat of paint on it, you'd have a halfway decent hovel.
The kitty's collar gives the character wearing it a 75% chance to come back to life if they're killed, which for role-playing sake I gave to Cassandra, since, you know, she's my sweetie and I want her to stay alive.
Inquisitor, you're early. We've barely been set up a week. I have a patrol out at the moment. Some of the men cited darkspawn in the area. I have reports that bandits have taken up squatting in the fortress the wardens abandoned. We're reasonably well entrenched here, but the keep's water supply has been problematic. It's causing delays. I'll prepare the troops for inspection at once.
Report. What's the situation in the Warden's fortress?
Bandits moved in. Worse than quillbacks, if you ask me. They're holed up in there, and using it as a base to strike at our supply caravans. Blasted scavengers.
What's wrong with the water supply?
The fort's well is full of garbage. Blasted Venatori threw corpses in there. There's an oasis nearby, but a Vargast claimed it. Doing a decent job of keeping us away, too. 4 soldiers have already fallen to venom and claws. We'll need reinforcements to drive the monster out.
We haven't met, have we? What's your name, soldier? Where have you served?
I beg your pardon, Inquisitor. Knight Captain Rylan at your service. I served with the Templars in Starkhaven until they all ran off to the hills, barking at the moon. Commander Cullen offered me a job, and I was glad to do anything to help stop all this madness.
What are your duties here, Captain?
I am Commander Cullen's second-in-command. As such, I handle logistics for many of our more high-risk missions. I also coordinate reports for the Commander from agents out in the field.
If you were in Starkhaven, how do you know Cullen?
After Kirkwall exploded, Starkhaven sent aid. Rubble fell on much of the city. A lot of people were homeless or trapped in collapsed buildings. I coordinated rescue efforts, and met Cullen while he was trying to command what was left of Kirkwall's Templars.
You didn't want to leave the Chantry with the others of your order?
Sacred duties are all well and good, but someone needs to do real work now and then. If the barracks are on fire, I'm going for water, not standing around smiting the ash for heresy. Ah, respectfully speaking, of course, Inquisitor.
How is the Inquisition treating you so far, Captain?
It's good work. Some of it's a touch batty, but I'm always glad to be doing something useful, Inquisitor. There's no shortage of things that need repaired, shored up, or just a good bucket of water dumped on them.
What can you tell me about the Darkspawn in the area?
The Darkspawn seem to have emerged since we took the keep. I've warned the troops not to engage unless absolutely necessary. We don't need a blight in the ranks. We have to find whatever hole the monsters came from and seal it.
Report, Captain. What's the situation in the Western Approach?
It's been eerily quiet since the Wardens left. Now I'm just waiting like a cat in a room full of rocking chairs. We've already had an archdemon. I don't want to guess what'll come next.
Carry on, Captain.
Yes, Inquisitor.
Why do these people always keep journals? I haven't kept a journal since I was a little boy.
Dorian asks what we're all thinking.
Must grind your gristle the Elder One is some crazy Vint asshole, huh?
I'm not thrilled to discover we should take those old legends at face value.
Guess he thinks the modern Imperium is a real letdown, too.
Why wouldn't he? Tevinter once covered all Thedas, its glory only matched by its depravity. It'd be like Koslan showing up and learning the Canary didn't conquer the world after all.
Yes. Priesthood's been trying to explain that one for centuries.
We can't cross this.
The Darkspawn got through. I'll have to see what our people at Skyhold can do.
We're gonna dart back to Skyhold in the war table in order to get that bridge built. And here we go. Yay, the magic of editing. So we run along a fairly boring, dusty trail that's really only of note because it has some dark spots to discover the prison ruins, where the Venatori are currently camping out, and we're gonna figure out why.
I'm guessing there's more.
The Darkspawn will have the run of this place.
Good. I'm just getting warmed up.
The Darkspawn are coming up through here.
Someone should do something about that.
This is kind of our first clue to see what the Venatori are up to.
These, anyway. I imagine there are a million more still underground.
The tunnel was open from the outside. Someone was digging here.
They're digging about and excavating in any ruins with magical objects. Of course, there's another room in here that, for completeness sake, we're gonna have to come back when I have a rogue in the party. The game does a really good job of making you keep a mage, since there's barriers
Venatori.
and things that need to
They've
be
been excavating.
energized.
I take it breaking into Darkspawn tunnels wasn't part of the plan.
They'll be holed up somewhere if the Darkspawn didn't get them.
But in terms of a rogue, there's rarely anything required behind a locked door. It does happen. There are a few things, but it's so rare that you really don't have to
This place
keep a
gets
rogue in the
better
party.
and better. Vince, Darkspawn, a giant? This was a pretty good day.
The men here were laborers. Someone must have been coordinating their efforts. I doubt they stuck around to fend off Darkspawn.
Once you fight your way through that courtyard with the giants and step outside, you can actually make camp in a little plaza there. Makes leaving and coming back a lot easier.
More giants? What are they, pets? The Vince are crazier than I thought.
This is Echoback Fort, not far from the prison. This is where the head of the Venatori operation here, Servius, is located.
One less crazy Vince in the world. Makes you feel good, doesn't it?
Still breathing. He's resilient, I'll give him that. Have some of the troops bring him in. I'll deal with him back at Skyhold.
If we head over to his desk, we can discover that he was not loyal to Corypheus. Whether that speaks to his morals or his sanity, I don't know. Once in, I don't really think leaving Gryphius's employment is an option.
This is one of the mages I spoke of. Sad that it came to this, but at least it is done.
These giant gates blocked us from coming in whenever you try to get in from the outside and avoid the whole crossing the bridge of death area. Now that we've opened them from the inside, we can come and go as we please in the area.
I enjoy fighting at your side, Bull.
Same here, Seeker. Put some horns on you, you'd make a pretty good Kunari.
I am not certain that's a compliment.
This is a little area under Griffin Wing Keep that I actually did discover on the last playthrough. On the last one, I actually discovered a lot that I didn't know, just because I was taking more care to notice everything for the videos. When you come down here, this is where they're getting some of their water from a well. You find a bunch of serpent stone. That's right, collect it all. And then you get a little milestone, saying that the water's not so great. There's another mosaic piece. And a dead body. You can also climb up the bucket and get into the keep itself.
Of course, Durin's theory of High Dragon behavior is absurd, but... Oh. Yes? Did you need something?
The rest of your team went missing, and there are raiders all over the area. Should you be here alone?
I don't know what happened to the rest of the expedition, but the raiders have left me completely undisturbed. I have also seen Grey Wardens and strangers in odd black clothing, but they all ignore my presence completely.
One tail feather and one batch of intestines, as requested.
My friend, you are invaluable. I will certainly note your assistance in my monograph on the High Dragon. I will attempt to lure her out as soon as my background research is complete. Mistakes could be deadly. The ancient Tevinters wrote volumes on the study of dragons. I believe they had a laboratory in this desert. If only their work had not been lost. Truly, the Blights set the field of draconology back centuries. Deplorable.
I found this manuscript on dragons in an ancient Tevinter laboratory. Will it help you?
What remarkable diagrams. Are these chambers of the draconic heart? Oh, if only I could read the script. Do you perhaps know a linguist? Or a Tevinter historian?
Don't look at me. Nobody's spoken that form of Tevin in 700 years.
I don't, but the Inquisition might. I'll speak to our specialists. I've spotted several dragon signs around the approach.
Most excellent, my friend. I don't suppose you noted the wound pattern? No matter, I'll look into that later. Andrast is mercy. From what I can tell, the dragon has been moving east and will be scouring the wastes next. Naturally, the dragon's hunting ground is full of miscreants, White Claw raiders. They've covered the area in traps for Maker-only-knows reasons. Quite a mess.
We'll have to speak some other time.
So I've headed over to disable the traps that the White Claw Raiders have left. However, we've gotten a little sidetracked because I want to go and check out this old warden ruin. It has a rift in it. We should take care of it. And just because I can, I climbed up here to close it. We're near the White Claw camp now. I'm not going to show disabling all the traps because quite frankly it's quite boring. I am going to show the last trap though and what happens
I'm curious
afterwards.
to see who comes running now.
Well, that takes care of that. Before we go back to Frederick, though, we are finishing the Chancy Trail by heading into this little cave. Unless it's going this way. Damn it. Once we head in, we have a codex about the creation of phylacteries. These bind mages to the tower so that Templars can track them if they try to escape. And some notes on someone who may be trying to reverse the Rite of Tranquility. To finish the quest for Frederick and lure out the High Dragon, we are going to have to dart back to Skyholt and translate that dragon text for him.
Is Knight Captain Ryland satisfied with his post?
It's not an easy assignment, but if anyone can handle the approach, it's him.
And there we go.
What was that? Oh, my fellow researcher. What can I do for you?
My people have translated that Tevinter manuscript.
Studies on dragon hunting patterns? Migrations? Ha! Durant's theory that dragons can't see the color blue is refuted. With those dreadful raiders out of the way, we can finally lure out the abyssal High Dragon. You should have the honor, my friend. I've made note of the appropriate spots in the wastes for you to place lures. Place this bait, and then wait. It will be a momentous achievement in draconology.
I'm off to plant the bait for the High Dragon.
I cannot wait to hear your observations. You must make note of how she circles the hunting area.
We'll have to speak some other time.
I have become slightly distracted by a mining operation
Who put all
nearby.
this here? Venatori?
We discover that the wardens were trying to reach the archdemon at some point. I would guess another attempt to preempt the blights. Heading back to our dragon area, we place bait in 5 traps. Super easy. There we go. La la la. Do. Feels kind of crazy trying to bait a dragon. Last one.
Boss, I want you to know, you're the best.
Oh look, a dragon. What a perfect way to ruin our day.
Now we have a little cave up here that we can explore. I'm not sure I showed this last time, so I want to get it all. This is a grave site for warden dwarves. Also, they put some mosaic pieces down here. Oh, come on. Yeah, I'm gonna loot everything. Go read the plaque. There we go. In the first game, it's a little bit of a plot point to one of the quests, how the dwarves bury their dead. They get returned to the stone. This is also actually mentioned in one of the expansions coming up. But it's nice that the wardens honored this instead of burning the dead. Back to Frederick.
Of course, Durin's theory of high dragon behavior is absurd, but... Oh, yes? Did you need something?
The High Dragon attacked me when I planted the bait. I'm afraid it's dead.
She attacked? How wonderful! You had a first-hand view of her behavior. Did you take any notes on her aggressive posturing? I suppose you wouldn't have. No matter. I should very much like to interview you. At a later time, of course. I could join your Inquisition. My expertise could be of use, and your scouts could help me find other specimens.
Certainly. I'm sure the Inquisition could use a draconologist.
Excellent. I'm sure my research will be of great use to you.
that actually finishes everything up in the Western Approach. I'm going to set this last war table mission. It is the Abernash and Morvron quest. I honestly haven't done this one before, so I don't know what's going to happen. I'm putting Josephine on it because her text amused me the most. Our next segment is going to be a lot of NPC talking. We are getting ready to go to Halam Sharal, so have to talk to everybody first.
Let us begin.